book is The Day the Crayons Quit by Drew Daywall. And a brief summary of this book is basically Duncan comes into school one day and he finds a stack of letters addressed to him, and each letter is from all of his different crayons. And so, for example, one crayon, the purple crayon, says how he loves that Duncan he uses him for all of his wizard hats and grapes and dragons, but he hates that Duncan can't color in fellow lines. So that's just one example of some of the different letters that are in the book.
Okay, so for the art section of The Day the Crayons Quit, the activity that I did was just to have the students draw a picture of their choosing and to use all the crayons that were used in the book. And the materials that are needed for this are just paper and crayons, enough for each student. And then after they're finished drawing, I would just have them write reflection questions based on the book, and I have them write what their favorite crayon was that they drew with, and then what object they used to draw this, with the crayon, and then how they think this crayon feels versus the other crayons.
So for a break between the art and music section, we would do PE, which would be a classroom energizer called Color Energizer. So what you would do, the materials needed are just expo markers and a dry erase board or a projector to write up what you would do for each activity, and then a little dice, which I just made online. You can just print it out and cut it, and then color in different colors. And then you could either have one for each group, or you could do it as a big group activity, and all the students would need to do is roll the dice, and then whatever activity it lands on, whatever color lands on, they would do the activity. So if I rolled the dice, it would land on blue. So then I would look up here and I would do 5 squats. And you could repeat it as many times as you want. And this would just be used to give students a break so that they would be able to focus the rest of the day.
So the name of this activity for the music portion of our lesson plan is called Colors of the Rainbow. I'm using a song called Colors of the Rainbow by David Patano. And normally if I was in a classroom, I would project the lyrics up on the screen. But since I don't have a projector, I went ahead and wrote all of the lyrics up on the board. It's kind of a shorter song, so it was relatively easy to copy them onto the board. So before I would start this activity, I would ask the students, if they knew the colors of the rainbow and in which order that they appeared. And then I would go ahead and play the song. So I'll play a little portion of the song for you all to hear. And so that's just a little snippet of the song, and to teach them the song and the melody, I would go over it a couple times, and just as I played the song, I would have them read along the words so they could follow along, so go by each. Then I would just go and sing along with them throughout the song, and go over and sing along with them about 2 or 3 times until I feel like they fully grasp the melody of the song and also the lyrics. And then after I feel like they've gotten the song and they've learned it, I would then ask them to sing it as a class alone without my help, and just remind them that the lyrics of the song are on the board, and then I would play the melody as well if they needed it. Some modifications for struggling learners is to break each portion up and teach them individually, and then put them together. So for example, I would take the first portion of the chorus, and then I would go over the words and the lyrics, and I'd go over them multiple 2 or 3 times. And then after I feel like they've grasped the first part of the lyrics, I would then move on to the first verse. And then, so we would sing the first verse and go over the first verse, and once I felt like they grasped it, I would put the two together, and I would have the students sing 2 parts of the songs together, and then obviously the chorus repeats and then it moves on to the second verse. For more advanced learners, how I would modify it for this lesson, they would already know all the songs, the song lyrics, and the melody. I would either have them make up a snapping rhythm that goes along with the song, or I would have them clap in a rhythm or pattern along with the song as well. After we learn an activity, I would go and have a class discussion, and I would ask the students, opening questions like, what is their favorite color of the rainbow? How they felt about the song, and if it helped them learn the colors better of the rainbow. And then after that discussion, I would ask them then if they could recite the colors of the rainbow in order without having to sing the song. And then also just ask if the song helped them learn the colors of the rainbow.